Hi all, welcome to the channel, welcome to the workshop. We now have the next 4 stages of build KITT from Knight Rider. So I've got KITT over on the workbench. We're pretty much just doing all bodywork today. So we've got the other panel to put on. This panel is currently only loose. So we will be doing a little bit of work on that and then fixing it to the car. We've got the roof panel, we've got the other side panel to put in place. So plenty of work to do, and we're going to be turning this upside down. So I do have my part upgrades mat ready, waiting to go. So without further ado, let's get building. Right, so you might have seen from my social media that I've got this brand new work mat, and it means I can now show you the entire contents of the pack we've got today. So we've got 91 through to 94. So we've got the roof panel with this one, we've got the rear quarter panel, and we have the side sills for the door, and I believe these are the A-pillars. So we're going to start off with issue 91. Right. So issue 91, brand new scalpel. I'm just going to be careful with taking that bit out because that is the top roof section. And brand new scalpel has opened the KM screws for me already. We've got lots more little bits in here. So we've got the fuel filler cap and the back part of it, and we've even got the tiny detail of the cap itself. We have the hinge. We have several types of screws. We have some WM screws. We have some EM screws. We have some AM screws, some AP screws, and some BP screws. And obviously the KM screws that came open. So plenty there to do. Let's see what we need to do first. I believe it's the roof panel. Yes, so the roof panel is the first thing to go in first. I will just give you a quick flick through the magazine. You'll see part of the subscription is the magazine itself, and it does tell you a lot about the series and also about KITT as well. And then obviously the important thing is we get the build instructions. And as you can see, we're putting the filler on as well, and then we are attaching that wing to the car. Now I will just roll the windows down because we are going to be flipping this over. We want to make sure that those roof panels are in place, because the first thing we're going to be doing is placing that just on there, and that's just going to hold those two panels in place now. Just checking that for fit, it's a fairly good fit. Now I should say that this is metal, and it's actually quite a weighty bit of metal compared to the other parts that we've had. So that's going to go there. We've got to hold that in place and flip it upside down and screw that in place. So a little bit of juggling is going to be required. And we are going to need something soft for it to go on. I'll put our screws over there for now. I know they're the KM screws. Right, so just holding the doors shut, holding the roof panels on, holding the new roof panel on. There we go. And we're going to be using the WM screws to hold that in place. And I knew it was going to fall off straight away. We're just going to dip that in oil. Right. Just going to hold that in place. We've got 3 screws in holding this in total. We're going to start with the middle one. Just in there. And number 2. And the third one just in here. Like so. Now we'll just flip that back over. So we have that just like that. And just double check that these do open and close properly, which they do. Now I'm just going to put that to one side for a moment because we are working on the next part. So we need our rear wing that we had last time. And we need our hinge. And that's just going to go in there. Now there's a shape to the hinge, you can see. And it's that L shape that's going to go just like that. We're going to hold that in with an AM screw. Next thing we're going to get is the cap. And we're going to place it just there. We're going to secure that to that hinge with an AP screw. Now we are going to plastic, so don't need the oil for this one. So that's just in there like so. And as you can see, it does open and close. Next, we're going to make the inner part. So we've got the cap, which does have a flat locating pin. That's just going in like so. And then we need a BP screw to secure that from the back. So that's in there just like so. And then we're going to be putting that just on top of there. And an AM screw will secure that one in place. That's just going in there. So now if we open up the filler cap, you can see the detail inside there. And now we're going to be placing it on the side of the car. Now obviously we do have this pin here, so we will need to open the door. Now I think I have the same problem that quite a lot of you out there have, and when this door shuts, it doesn't align with the wing. So it might be that this door is twisted and I might need to ask FanHome for a new one. For the minute, I'm just going to carry on and then I'll look at that at a later date, because as you can see, it does line up absolutely perfectly here and here, but unless you really push that in, it does not hold in the right place. So it does appear that the door is twisted. So that's something I will sort out at some point. Whether that is trying to twist the door or, as I say, potentially get one from FanHome. It'd be interesting to see how it fits on the other side. But anyway, we've got that wing in place. Now we need to secure it. And it looks like the majority is KM screws, which are these ones, but we do have 1 or 2 EM screws. We have 1 EM screw to use. This one up here, this one is an EM screw. I have to switch to a PH1 bit for this. I'm going to start off with the EM screw, and then we've got 4 KM screws to go in. And they are going 2 at the rear here, You have another KM screw going in here, so just in the center of this wheel arch, like so. And then here we have a pattern of holes, and we've got the one closest to the door is the one we want to put the last KM screw in. It might be possible to show you on this close-up cam. It's just going in to this point here. So I've got that secured in now. So it was KM screw there, just there. Make sure they're tight. We had two at the back here, and we had the EM screw right down here. And that is all there is to do in that stage. Just going to move Kit over, and I'll just quickly show you through issue 92. And we've got the other wing. Again, we're going to be doing the same thing that we did the first time. So with the coupling, the little vent, and then we'll be adding it to the cart again with the KM and EM screws. And then we need to check that the roof opens, which I've actually already done. I don't think putting a wing on is going to affect that in any way. So let's get on with issue 92. Right, so issue 92, we have the other wing. And from the looks of it, I might need to get a new one because I've got a bit of a scuff here, which isn't polishing out, and a scuff and a small dent just there. But I'm going to crack on and attach this to the cart anyway. But before we do that, we do need to put the little vent in like that. So we're going to put the vent in. We're going to secure that with a BP screw, just like so. And then we've got the little catch, and we're going to secure that with a GM screw. So this has a little keyhole pattern as it did before. That's going to go just in there. We've got the GM screw going in just there, like so. And now we bring Kit back over. And as we did with the other one, we're going to place that in, again, making sure that the door is out of the way. Ensure that's all lined up. So you have the single EM screw going in just there. I'm just going to finish this section. With a KM screw in there. Got another one just in there, one in there. And the final one, as before, is just going in this cluster of holes next to the door. And that's all there is to do in issue 92. Okay, so we've got that wing in place that you can see there. And as you can see, the passenger door fits absolutely perfectly. We've got a nice shut line there. But, as you can see, with the driver's door, although it lines up in 3 places, this is way out. If I just try and tip it so you can see that there is effectively a massive gap. Now, if I really push and hold that, it will go in, but as you can see, it pops back out, and it's just not a very good fit. So that door does appear to be twisted. I'm pretty sure it's not anything to do with the hinge, because that is absolutely perfect. But we will crack on with the issues that we've got, and we're going to be cracking on with the door sills. So we now have issue 93. And these are the parts we get, as you can see. And they are the mounting points for the rear, as well as the outer door sill for both sides. So here are the parts. They are plastic. And we've got these two metal mounts, and we've got some VM screws. So put those to one side, because the first things we're going to be doing is the mounts. So we need to bring KITT over, and we do need to flip it upside down. Obviously, watch out for these opening or anything. I think they won't open, but just by themselves, they are. They do seem to clip in, but certainly something to be wary of when tipping the car upside down. Now that you do have those two plastic parts there. Now these are stamped left and right. Might just be able to pick that up on camera, but they do have a left and a right marked in there. And they are going to be going just inside the door here and here. Now we've got this little cutout here, and that's to go around the screw that we use to secure the body at the rear wing. So they're just going to go in like so. So we have the left one going in just there. We've got these cluster of holes, and we're going to use two VM screws to hold that in place. We've got one just going in there. And the other one just going in there. Just ensure they're nice and tight. And then we're doing the same thing on the opposite side. Just going to ensure that screw is nice and tight in there. And then we're going to be placing this mount over the top of that. And then we've got the screw going in there. And then the other one is going in just there. And now what we need, we've got the two sills going in here. And they are shaped just like that. So there is a left and a right, and they are stamped, as you can just about see on there. So we have the right side one here, and you can see they're just lugs that are angled, and they're going to go into the holes just here under the door. And that is just a push-in fit. Again, have the door open, and we're just going to try and place this in. Again, just a push in. And nothing's going to be holding that in place screw-wise. That's the passenger side door, and that does fit nicely. Driver's side door, this looks fine. However, as you can see, it does splay out here. So that door's twisted, and this wing is possibly not in the right place, or something is not in the right place. So I'm going to take a look at that, see if I can rectify that, and then we'll move on to the next issue. But that's all there is to do in stage 93. Okay, with a little bit of gentle persuasion, a little bit of a bend, that now lines up absolutely perfectly, as you can see. So the only issue I have is this driver's side door, which, as you can see, does not line up at all. And that is closed at the top. As you can see, it does definitely bend out at the bottom. But what we're going to be doing now is moving on to concentrating on the left side, because we have the parts for the door surround. Again, just a quick look through the magazine. So I've got a little bit of on super pursuit mode here. Has anyone tried putting a grappling hook onto their car yet? So, as you can see, we've got the window surround, so or the A-pillar, and then we've got the door sill itself, which we're putting in there. And the very first thing we're going to be doing is taking the door pillar, and probably easier to open the door on this one, and that's going to be placed just in here, like so. So we're lining up with the T-top here, and then it comes down here, and we're securing that in place with a QM screw just through this single hole down here. And it's got quite a small head on it, so just changing to my pH 00 bit. It might be a good idea to open the door and go through the door this way. Next we have the B pillar, which is here. And we've got another single screw that's going to go through there, and that's a GM screw. So we've got that just going in like so. We now have these two parts, and we're going to be joining those two together, just like that. I'm going to use a couple of AP screws to secure that. One in there, and one just in there. And then this is going to be secured just in there, like so. And then we're going to be using the QM screws again to hold that in place. We've got 3 screws there to hold it in place. I'll go with this middle one first. One at the front, and the last one going in at the back just here. And that is all there is to do in that issue. If I push that and force that, you can see that that shuts very nicely, even with the Mike Lane carpet mod there. And that is all there is to do in that stage, and all there is to do in that build pack. But we've done really, really well. Kit has really come to shape now. We have all the body panels on, obviously apart from the rear end, which I'm sure we'll be working on very soon. I'm guessing that the next issue we're going to be doing will be the A pillar, B pillar, and the door sill around the passenger door, as we haven't done that one yet. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please remember to give a big thumbs up. So, Kit is looking absolutely brilliant. If you want to see more of how Kit progresses or anything else that goes on the channel, please do remember to hit the subscribe button and ding that bell for future notifications. Then you'll be notified when I release a new video. Also, if you can share the channel to like-minded people, then that's always a bonus too. If where you're watching is getting a little bit chilly as well, then maybe pop over to the motor store and also have a look at the hoodies. It's certainly getting chillier where I am now, so this hoodie is keeping me very warm. Now, another thing for Night Rider, on my Etsy store, you'll see this switch. If you haven't seen that, check out my other kit videos and my other model modification videos. There is a playlist on my channel, and you'll find that there is a switch mod that I've built that will basically control all the lights individually from the car. So you can just turn them on and off at will. So do check out the video on that one, and also check out the store. Until next time, I hopefully see you around. Cheers.